What's up, everybody? How's it? Oh, wait. Okay, how's it going today? Had to make sure there. We've got a big
Hello.
Aron Ra gap there in the middle, which I guess I could actually hide that for the time being. Uh, Aron hasn't showed up yet. When he does, we'll add him to the stream or whatever. I know sometimes he has some confusion with time zones and whatever, and it's cool. No big deal. If he shows up, we got things to talk about with him. If not, as always, we can talk to you, wonderful people. Uh, you may notice my camera and audio is a little different than usual today. I'm trying something a little different. I'm streaming the show from my phone and running the show from my computer at the same time. So, yeah, there's that. But what's up, Kelly? Good to see you.
Hey,
Hey,
Kelly.
Seth,
Yes.
Ascalon. Who else? Who else? I missed somebody. I know I did. What can those of us who aren't adept at critical thinking? Okay, I see you, Ascalon. I will.
Ember. Ember is here.
What's up, Ember? Good to see you. We'll have to have Ember come on with us sometime.
Oh, yes.
Just come right on over from her show and do this one. Yeah. First time here. What's
Kit.
up? The thought experiment. All kinds of names I don't know. How's it going? Welcome, everybody. Well, this is Politicality, right? So it's got a funny name, but we talk about serious things. Lil and I spend a lot of time talking about what's going on in the political world and stuff, and discussing those things with you guys from like a secular point of view. Not going to spend a lot of time talking about atheism or any of that stuff. Joining from the Secular Talk Discord, awesome, good to see you. If you're new, be sure to subscribe. They do this like twice a week. Yeah, we do this on Thursdays and Sundays, 1 p.m. Eastern every week, and we usually have polls and all kinds of things. I didn't set up a poll today because I had other plans, but anyway, we do all kinds of things to try and interact with the audience and stuff. We are supposed to have Aron Ra joining us here briefly. I don't know. But if he doesn't show up or whatever, that's fine too. But I would imagine we see him come in a little bit late or whatever. All right. So the State of the Union was
bonkers.
A couple days ago. Yeah.
Insane.
We're not going to watch that today, by the way, guys.
We are not going to torture you.
Yes.
Like we did Sunday.
Yeah. So Sunday we had 2 hours of watching a video about with Trump. It was only like 11 minutes of video actually, but we spent 2 hours talking about that video. No Trump today. Actually, what I have planned is to talk a little bit about the response to that and the official response given by Abigail Spanberger, governor of Virginia. And she had some interesting things to say, but anyway, the idea of her response is there's 3 questions. Is Trump working to do these 3 things? And then she went on to expand on how he's not. Now, what we're going to do today is we're going to look at those 3 questions and we're going to answer them instead of letting her answer them, because I think while she gave an excellent speech, and it was a really good speech, and if you haven't seen it, go check it out, the official State of the Union response. And I didn't post everything in the description today. Usually I have all the links there. But anyway, that's what's planned for today. I also have some specific things to talk to Aron about, to ask him about, his political position in Texas and things that goes on there. Lil's also from Texas, so it's a shit speech, in my honest opinion. Yeah, it wasn't that great.
Yeah, it was what I expected.
That's why we're going to do it that way.
it was what I expected out of him. So
because I think it's more than that, and also we have, right at the same time, NPR releases an investigation where Trump was implicated in the Epstein files, not just someone who's involved and hangs out with Epstein, but as had assaulted a young lady, and she came forward back when she was a minor. She was 13 years old, and gave details and everything. And in fact, there's it's said that the FBI had considered and was moving towards actually prosecuting Trump, and for whatever reason didn't. But the point of all this is that there's her initial interaction with the FBI is in a redacted document. They redacted most of it, but that was uncovered. NPR did an investigation, and by following the base numbers, which is the some KFC and Texas barbecue. Yeah, we don't eat KFC here. We don't eat that shit. But anyway,
I don't eat either, but...
yeah. If I'm eating fried chicken, I'm going to Slim Chickens, or I got to go out of town to get the others. But yeah, Slim Chickens, we have that here. It's way, way better than anything KFC has. But
apparently KFC is a lot better in other countries too.
Yeah, it's not very good here. It's not very good here. It's but you know,
I prefer to do my own chicken if I have an option. But
yeah, Bojangles and Raising Cane's. Yeah, you're down south. You got that. I can get to in a reasonable amount of time a Popeyes, but that's about.
Oh, we got Popeyes. Yeah. We just got a Popeyes like last
you got all
year.
kinds of good shit down there. You got In-N-Out Burger and Whataburger and
oh my god, Whataburger. I love Whataburger. We have Brahms, which is fantastic.
Now, see, there's a little privately owned mom and pop restaurant here that actually sells Jim's hot dogs, but they make a burger that's like a Whataburger. And yeah, so really awesome. But I've had Popeyes, I've had Churches. I've never been down south, right? Really, I went. The furthest down south I've been is I went to Pigeon Forge several years ago for a couple days and stayed in an RV there. And went and seen the sights and did the things. I went over into Cherokee, South Carolina, and hung out around Pigeon Forge. I didn't make it those places, but anyway, I got my Black Non-Believer shirt on today. Everybody see that? Go support them. But I just wanted to do a bit of plugging there. Kelly's in the chat. Maybe she appreciate that. Maybe not. I don't know.
Speaking of supporting, you also have Flying Monkey shirts.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So, yeah, just for fun. I took the Flying Monkey emoji that's available to members. If you click on the join button, you can get a membership for 99 cents. You get a bunch of emojis. The Flying Monkey's one of them. And if you know, you know, I guess.
Yeah.
But I slapped that on some mugs and T-shirts and stuff. Okay.
And
sorry, Kelly.
Also,
I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, hang on. I gotta move stuff around. No nose. Also, if we're talking about really cool promotional stuff over at Better Than Ever, they have she has done some of the coolest pride flags, but they're all space stuff because NASA had done a space thing I think in 2014, and of course it was deleted. I put the link in chat. If you go over there and get one of the pride flag stickers, which they're all space, they're incredibly cool. And she created all of them, so that's awesome. But if you go over there and get one, you can get $1 off the stickers, so they're $5 each, and they're pretty sizable stickers too. So they're like 5 inches. They're pretty big, and they're fantastic.
Yeah, we have to get Ember to set me up a promo code, and people can go over and save like 10% or something using Kentucky Atheist.
I am special.
Right. Well, or Lil. I mean, whatever you want to use. but we need to we need to get some pictures to show people of what you're talking about and stuff and
Yes, we do.
because I'm all for uh, promo code Lil. Yeah, that'll work. Uh, some kind of
Mm-hmm.
something. But the I can do one for you too, Joe. Well, you don't have to, just as long as like I have one that I can, Lil is fine. I just want something that I can tell people to send them that way. You know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
But
There's
yeah,
really cool. Yeah, and there's also the flags on there are like the actual like space pictures, so they're more expensive than like normal pride flags you would find. But tell me those things are not badass. They're fucking awesome, and she's done so many different flags. They're just it's like the best thing ever. They're so cool.
yeah, yeah. Well, awesome. Yeah. Go check out that and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
My merch stuff. I don't really, like it's there, and I try. Like the price of the stuff is so high, so I mark it down to where it's like I make like a couple dollars on each thing, and I've sold like in the year and a half. Oh yeah, year and a half now that I've had a merch store.
Mm-hmm.
I've sold like 4 things.
I will say on the Flying Monkey shirt, they run a little bit big.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
just FYI, yeah, because I was like, I was like, is this the right one? And then I checked, and yeah, it's the right one. It's a little bit big, so just FYI, if you're looking for something tight fitting.
Oh, dropping Cynthia in the chat there.
Uh-huh.
And Black Non-Believers. I see that. That would have been. Uh, I forget what did you have to do to because I think if you drop, you must have dropped Mandisa's tag, huh? Because I think that's the one. Kelly's might have it in it too. I don't remember. I make a tag for everybody that comes on here, so there's like a million of them. Do I have one for Seth?
No, you do not.
Oh,
You should.
well.
There's a really good interview about Christian nationalism, and there's a really good interview coming out tomorrow. And then there's also a really good interview with Kelly.
Well, you
There's
kind of
some
got to
really
come
good
on the
stuff.
show. You got to come on the show to get it.
He gets
So
perks.
yeah, well, he wants to come on and talk about it here. I'll give him one. But yeah, I'll get you one set up, Seth. I'm just joking. Uh, the So yeah, I'm kind of looking at the format of the show, and
Mm-hmm.
we may we may change things around a little bit because and I'm just going to say it plainly because that's the way I talk to you guys, but I kind of need this show to make some money. So and not because I want to live off of it or need things or whatever. It's for
Mm-hmm.
the show itself that I need it to make money. And so we're going to start doing a thing to where like we read super chats at the end or whatever and do a whole thing with it and make an event out of it. I haven't got all
If
that set up yet, but
if
go ahead.
you want to send super chats and you are on my channel, you need to go over to the Kentucky Atheist channel and do it over there because my channel's not monetized yet. Yet being the keyword.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, this isn't about like I need you guys to like fund my lifestyle or anything,
Mm-mm.
which I know has been claimed by certain dirty little bitches. But like this is about like I want to do things with the show, and it takes money to do that right now. And just to be completely transparent with everybody while we're doing this, Lil and I split the cost of EV Mux. We use the pro version of EV Mux and we split it every month. Lil
Mm-hmm.
sends me $25. I pay 50 for it. Um, and then there's like Adobe that I use anyway to do the graphics and thumbnails and all that stuff with. Lil actually made this last thumbnail, but usually I do it. And so there's other things that we want to add though so that people can so that we can interact with more people is the whole point. So yeah. So if you send super chats and stuff, we'll read those at the end of the show. Don't it's like I said, it's something that I'm going to kind of implement a whole thing about it in the future.
Mm-hmm.
But just to let everybody know. And so I'm going to start asking people to give us money. But anyway, How's Texas, Lil?
Texas is interesting because there's been this theory hypothesis, and I've held this for years, that Texas is actually purple and or just outright blue at this point, but everything's been gerrymandered to all hell, so it doesn't show up that way. And it's looking more. I just saw a thing like 2 weeks ago that showed the registered Democrats and the registered Republican, and there are there's more registered Democrats than there are Republicans, and it's just kind of the way that they've gerrymandered the hell out of the state. Um, but I've also said over the last year, at the beginning of the year, there were Trump flags and MAGA flags and red hats and all that shit everywhere. I haven't seen any of that in like the last 3 months. Like none of it. I have seen people who had there's somebody in my neighborhood that I kid you not have 5 different Trump flags in their yard. They are all gone. And I have seen I haven't seen bumper stickers. I've seen places on cars where bumper stickers have obviously been peeled off. So I assume that's probably it. So yeah, I think people, and this is like what I've said several times on a couple different shows now. They move too hard, too fast, and you can't lie to people about their pocketbooks. You can't tell people that they're getting gas for $1.75 here when it's $3 freaking. We know what the gas
Absolutely.
prices are. You can't lie to us about that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like, so I have, where's this at? I have some statistics I want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to put these on screen. It's just a text document. But I know the first one that relates to what you said. And 60% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, right? So, hold on, let me get this open so I can give you the other ones because I don't want to get it incorrect. All right. So 60% of people are living paycheck to paycheck. And over 20 million households are spending more than half of their income on housing. And we have nearly 1 million homeless people in this country. Now, I'm sure we're all aware, like we've heard the common thing of like the 99% versus the 1% and all that. But this 60%, and probably more than that actually for what I'm going to say, you're crazy if you think they don't know how much money they have or how much money they're spending or any of that. I mean, you can ask me any time of day how much money I have, and I can tell you to the penny how much money I have in my account. Like, so whenever I go and spend more on food or anything else, because everything has went up tremendously, other than eggs, of course, which was their big thing, and we've made fun of that forever. But excuse me, poor people know when they're spending more money on things, though, right? Like,
Yeah.
And Native Atheist, hopefully Aron will be around here in a few minutes. He's apparently running late or whatever. But yeah, so let me go on a little bit more with these statistics here. 21% of seniors are trying to survive on $15,000 a year. And $15,000 a year is nothing, especially when what the administration and the Republicans have done, healthcare costs have doubled now. So, which is the biggest thing that seniors are spending money on is healthcare. So, with all that going up, what you said is exactly right. Though, is like people know, people aren't stupid. Like, and even if they are, they know when they're spending more money on things. Even the stupid people know that, right? Vandalia, I had Aron on my show 2 years ago. Yeah, Aron's been on here once or twice, and then I've done some other shows with him. Aron is like Santa; he won't appear unless we all believe. Yeah, Aron is sometimes fashionably late. That's why I'm not really worried about it. He'll show up.
We're just chilling. We're
But
good.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, let's go ahead and if Aron comes in, he can comment on it too. But let's go ahead and watch one of these clips I have here. I don't want to do the 3 questions one yet, because I want to save that for if Aron shows up. But I've got another video we can watch. So, all right. This is just a little short clip. It's only 24 seconds, so I'm going to let it play out. Okay. Okay.
Our investigation reveals the Justice Department withheld portions of the Jeffrey Epstein files that contain allegations involving President Trump, including material tied to claims that Mr. Trump sexually abused a minor and that some pages mentioning him were removed from the public record. Democrats on the House Oversight Committee called that out today, saying the DOJ's withholding of information could amount to a crime.
Did you hear the clip play?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I didn't. I couldn't hear it at all. But I know what they said, so it's okay.
Yeah.
All right. So,
like, if it was not okay, I've said this from like when the Epstein files were released, and I say this now: if there is anybody who is still holding water for Trump at this point, they are either completely delusional or they are so far gone that there's no point in even trying to reach out to them at this point.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, it is just so blatantly obvious.
Well, see, I think the important thing here, and I think PBS is, I think these networks are scared of Trump, so they're not saying the important part. But what the unsaid part here is what this tells you is that 100% now Pam Bondi perjured herself. Kash Patel 100% has perjured himself. This is in fact a huge cover-up, bigger than Watergate, spanning multiple administrations, and now the Trump administration is trying to make it disappear and go away. And and in doing so, they're violating the law, right? The Epstein Transparency Act. But we have this problem of the DOJ isn't going to prosecute itself. So we kind of have to get people out there to vote, to hold these people responsible, because unless we have a big change in power in our government, nobody's ever going to hold any of these people accountable. And to the Democrats that are running for office, this goes to all of you too. If you don't plan on handing these people accountable, don't run. Just don't. Because you're just as bad as they are. You're complicit even.
Yeah, and it infuriates me to no end that there are some Democrats that are hedging on this a little bit, at least. Like, it's just like holy shit, you have full-blown Republicans who are just like, no, this shit's unacceptable. You've got like Thomas Massey and a few others that are like, no, this is fucking unacceptable. You cannot do this. And then you've got some of the Democrats that are like, well, and it's like, no, there needs to be impeachment hearings against all of these people. All of them.
Yeah. And I understand that right now, the Democrats, if they were to, try and file articles of impeachment against any of these people, that they may get them through, just because of how big some of this is, but they would never actually get the impeachment. And hopefully, they learned the lesson from last time. And
they might, from what I understand, and this is coming from a couple different sources that I've heard, but I cannot verify anything, is that like they do have the count to possibly impeach at least some of them for just the flat out lies. Just because this Epstein thing is so big and it's tarnishing the entire Republican Party, and they know it. They know this is going to be the problem.
I think they have the count to impeach them. I don't think they have the count to remove them from office. That's the problem.
Yeah. I think they probably do.
Yeah, but if they try it and fail, they empower these people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they've failed at it, and the Democrats right now don't need a big failure.
Yeah.
If they and I know that these people deserve to be removed from office immediately, and the very fact that they're not is
But
even worse.
like
But
my question, so okay, there is a non-zero possibility that the House will be in Democrat hands by the time of the election, especially if more Republicans draw up. But like, I don't see where there's anything to lose from the Democrats, even if they can't get him in, even if they can't get him removed. I don't see where there's anything that's going to go against if they can bring impeachment hearings and vote for impeachment in the House. I don't see how that will be a negative, especially because of all the crap that Trump is doing, especially the big shit that's going to get a good number of conservatives on their side, like the freaking Epstein files and stuff
well,
on the economy.
I don't think that it's a negative that they do it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that if they fail, that's a negative, right? So, and I think that the House could
I,
absolutely impeach a
yeah,
couple of these people now. I think they could do it, but
yeah,
could they actually
I,
then in the trial that follows remove them? And
yeah.
I don't think
In
they can.
but the thing is that I don't think that even if they fail in removing him, I don't think that's necessarily going to reflect badly on them. It's going to reflect badly on the people who voted not to remove him. I think it's going to it basically forces a head count and says
Oh, sure,
this
right,
is all the shit that this guy has done in office, and you want to keep him in here. And I don't think that's going to bode well for him. So I think even there are upsides and downsides, but I think even a failed removal is not going to be as big of a hit on the Democrats as some people think it is.
right. So, um, I agree with you, but I would just say, what is the goal here? And if the goal is just messaging that the Republicans are shitty people and stuff, I think everybody knows that, and
Yeah, but
I'm not against that. But if the
yeah,
goal is to actually remove these people, they need to wait. Like that's
yeah,
just
but I mean, it is part of it to it is part of it to get them to get, especially now. I'm not necessarily talking about the House, but especially the Senate. It's one of those things to get everybody on record on a yes or no, an up, down, or present vote on removing, say, Trump for just the Epstein file thing. That's going to say a lot. And even if, and the thing is what a lot of people don't understand, and I had to explain this kind of the last time, is impeachment is not like a criminal process, it's a political one. So use it for the damn political messaging. And yes, it is one of those things that it's going to, if they can't remove him, it's going to amount to political messaging. But that's pretty strong political messaging when you have half of the Senate over here voting for to keep a president that has been implicated in everything he's been implicated in office. And the thing is it's not like it's not like the White House is going to be handed over to the Democrats. It's fucking Vance.
yeah,
Like you're not handing it off to the quote unquote radical left. Like you're not fucking doing that.
yeah. No, I agree. I think that. So my
Mm-hmm.
personal opinion is that the Democrats end up taking over the House and the Senate in this election, uh, and the House by a big margin. The Senate, it's going to be a little closer, but I think that they take both,
Mm-hmm.
because we see states like Texas and Florida and Georgia and lots of other places that aren't normally blue, going blue by a significant margin, right? So
Yeah.
I think that they take it, and then they can for sure do these things.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think that no matter what, even if they wouldn't take the Senate or whatever, then they have more numbers to back this thing anyway. And so Because for me anyway, the thing I care about is actually getting these people out of office so they can be prosecuted.
Yeah.
And I just worry that if they were to try and not, then it's just going to empower these people to do more. And
I don't think that worked last time around, but I think it was so even though, like, yeah, the Ukraine thing was just like holy crap, and I would have absolutely voted to impeach him. I can see where a lot of people will be like, with that, and then with the like, basically the thing is, it's like they had not lost the significant support that they have already lost. I mean, his ratings are as low as they've ever been, and they are just getting lower. They're almost to the bottom, to where he's almost hit the line of where they will never drop any lower because just that many Americans are crazy. Yes, that's the all inclusive pride flag, which is really cool. The space
yeah,
one.
there's also a TKA promo code now, and I put a link in the chat for it. Amber
That's
sent it to
awesome.
me. We'll just leave that right there for now, so everybody can see it. But
And yeah, the with the way that everything of this has shaped up, to where, like I said, they've gone too hard, too fast. They've done too much. They've fucked around with the economy. They've outright killed American citizens. The Epstein files, and there's all this stuff that even if someone could ignore one thing, they can't ignore it all. And they have
yeah,
pissed off so many damn people that I would probably, knowing politics the way I do, I know, and this has also been reported, that the Republicans are scrambling because they know that he's like freaking kryptonite to their re-election campaigns at this point. That
yeah,
if he
yeah,
shows up, they are screwed, and they know that. And I mean, even the way Mike Johnson was talking the other day, he kind of understands, like, oh crap, this is not good. And I don't think, under these circumstances, I don't think a failed impeachment is going. I think it's would be a good thing, because it ends up putting a yes no vote on, are we keeping this mad guy in office?
yeah. Well, and I think that, because I agree with you to some extent, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that it's very obvious that these people, even if they just go after them for the perjury, I think that
Mm-hmm.
you can show this video and then these files and show that they absolutely perjured themselves, right?
Yeah.
And so it forces Republicans to vote against something that they obviously did do.
Yeah.
And it looks bad on them, which I agree with, but what what does that do though? Like, what effect does that have afterwards? Because
It has, so it has an effect, especially the senators who are up for re-election. It has an effect on them of either getting, it basically has the effect of getting the Democrat more votes, because it shows without a shadow of a doubt that the Democrats are willing to do what it takes to get the crazy guy out of office, even if it means putting in a younger guy who is still super far right wing. The thing is that Vance has absolutely no charisma and cannot hold that coalition together to save his life. So there is that. But
yeah,
I mean, it's one of those things that it straight up shows, like, this is the shit that we should be impeaching people for. This is the shit that Nixon was impeached for, and they're voting no. So you want to keep this? You want to keep this going on or not? And you're only going to get, like, the people who are the most, like, base Republicans to vote for it.
sure.
I mean, like I said, this Epstein
Yeah,
file
now
thing
I,
has
I wasn't
thrown
taking
everybody
into
off.
account that you were talking about doing this before the midterm elections. I
Yeah.
wasn't thinking about that. You're right on that though. Like that would definitely be ammunition for the
Mm-hmm.
Democrats campaigning,
Yeah.
especially in some of these really red areas. That, hey,
Mm-hmm.
this person's voting for this administration that has lied and covered up for a pedophile, and here they've done
Mm-hmm.
it very obviously. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can follow that. I can see your point. Uh, yeah, I mean, I think that definitely ensures that the Democrats take more
Hmm.
seats, maybe, so I get
Yeah.
it. That's fair game, I guess.
I mean, I think the Democrats are going to get even more seats. And yes, I absolutely think they are going to try to rig the election. But I think if they keep going at the pace they're going, they are going to piss so many people off that they're just not going to be able to fudge the voter numbers enough to make a difference
Yeah.
with that. Because I mean, there was a statistic, and I want to say it was Ruth Ben Ghiad who said it. But she said once you see about 3% of the population like out in the streets protesting stuff, that's when stuff starts to happen as far as like an actual revolution goes.
Oh, sure.
And we're at like 2.8% at this point. And there's
Yeah.
another No Kings protest planned on March 28th. So
Yeah.
like if that hits over 3%, then we are definitely in that category. People are sick of this shit. I mean, people are really freaking tired of it.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, I think that and there's several points to make that people are tired of, but the lying to people's face about the
Hmm.
economy and about how rich they are and stuff. And I actually have some comments on him talking about everybody being rich and things, but lying to people and telling them that they have money and that they have health care and that they affordability is fixed and he fixed it and all this stuff is
Hmm.
a straight lie and people know it. Then also you have the whole Epstein files thing, obvious cover up.
Yeah.
Uh, they've already been shown. If nothing else comes out now, if not another page is released or redacted, we
Hmm.
already know that they've covered up things. We've
Yeah.
seen the redactions and things, and they've tried to protect the pedophiles while outing
Hmm.
the victims in the case.
Yeah.
And um, that's really disappointing. But on top of that, you have the Trump family has enriched themselves to the tune of $4 billion plus while in office. He's gotten a plane, and that's not even counting the other
Hmm.
people that he's like sued him for donations to his presidential library, which is essentially just money that's going in his pocket.
Yeah.
Um, he's
Don't forget
plastered his
he's
name all over
yeah,
historical landmarks.
he's suing the
Uh,
Treasury Department, he's suing the DOJ. And I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
he's suing the Treasury Department for $10 billion. And if he gets that, like it comes straight out of your pocket.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the crazy thing with the like whenever the Trump sycophants are like he works and he doesn't even take a salary, he donates it to charity and all this other stuff, and then him even saying he's going to donate that money to charity. It doesn't matter if he does or
Yeah.
doesn't.
And he
That's
doesn't.
taxpayer money. That's your money. So
Yeah.
all the no tax on tips and no tax on this and that and
No
blah
tax
blah
on
blah
overtime.
all of that stuff.
Yeah.
It negates every bit of that if he's going to sue the government for $10 billion.
Yeah.
Like it's a redistribution of wealth, and we
Hmm.
see like the wealth inequality is a big issue that I talk about a lot, and it's one that I think is one of the most important issues that we can talk about. And maybe we should do a show one day where we spend like half the show just talking about wealth inequality
Hmm.
because I think it's really important, and there's
Yeah.
a lot of details to get into about it and statistics and things that you need to talk about. But what he has done essentially is make the gap larger, right? Um, these tariffs, one of the side effects of being the 99% versus the 1% is that the 99% is consuming all these products and paying the tariffs, right?
Hmm.
That tax money, where does that go? Because it's a tax on us. So
Yeah.
it ends up going to the federal government, and because of the way that the big bullshit bill did, uh, all that money ends
Yeah.
up going to billionaires. So essentially, tariffs are just money in their pockets. That's why he says
Yeah.
everybody's getting richer because they are. but it's just him
Yeah.
and his buddies that are getting richer, and they're laughing in your face.
And this ridiculous thing about like about the American people getting tariff checks back. No, if they get anything,
Yeah.
which is questionable from this government, but if they get anything, it's going to be the importers who were importing stuff. They're not going to change their damn prices because what the hell else are we going to do?
Well,
Like,
one of the
I mean,
other things.
if you need an item and you have to pay, an extra $3 for it, then you have to pay an extra $3 for it. There's nothing you can do about that, and it puts more money in their pockets.
Right. One of the other things that they're covering up though is the where all this money's going. Right, the actual numbers of what's going on within our economy. So um, they're lying to everybody and saying things are going great and all of this, but and Trump has, to be fair, like he says, we've taken in billions of dollars in tariffs. They have, but that's money the American people have paid extra on those things.
Mm-hmm.
The Supreme Court ruled those illegal. Will the American people get that back? No. It'll
Yeah.
go to the importers, right? The
Yeah.
billionaires. So no matter which way it goes, he wins. Which is why whenever he gave his little speech the other day after the Supreme Court decision, he said that it was this awful thing that they did, and he was disappointed, and shame on their families and all that bullshit. But then said it makes us stronger and it's actually better and all that. Because which is it, right? Because either way, the money's going to the billionaires.
Mm-hmm.
We just called
Yeah.
Aron's producer after not having been given an answer on the message. Suit sent him an email sent to Aron. He said he'll call Aron ASAP. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I figured Aron would show up an hour late because I've been on other shows where he gets the time zone wrong. So
I have had I've personally had my time zones all messed up. I did that on Tuesday. That I thought one show was supposed to be on started at 6, and it actually started at 7.
Yeah.
And so it made for a really tight schedule. But yeah, I'm kind of used to taking hours that are given to me and deducting one, and assuming that that's the time it is.
Yeah. So Vandalia, let me respond to this real quick here. Trump doesn't even understand how tariffs work, who pays for them, and the history why we had them in the first place. Um, I don't think that's true. I think that Trump knows exactly how tariffs work, and it's part of the plan. Everything that Trump has done has been to benefit the billionaires in this country, and the tariffs are just another example of that. Only he's claiming that the other country's paying it because he's lying to you, and he knows that the American people are paying it. So
I'm not entirely sure on that. I think honestly, with Trump, I think it's equal parts or equally likely that he knows people are getting fucked by it, or that he is seriously that he has swallowed his own damn Kool-Aid and actually thinks other countries pay it. It really could be either one. Which, when you say something about that, like the president, that should not be a thing, and that should be a massive red flag.
well, I think that I don't think it's possible that he doesn't know. Honestly, I don't think that's even in the cards. Like uh, the he has enough people around him. He even has Republicans in Congress speaking up and saying it's a tax on the American people. The Supreme Court has said it. This is the same thing we deal with when talking with creationists. Like I've explained to you this certain aspect of evolution. It's been explained to you 100 times before this. You can't claim ignorance at this point. You're being willfully ignorant. So
Yeah, and I'm not saying like I'm not saying it's not willful ignorance, but like if you were to give him truth serum or some shit, I'm like relatively certain that he'd probably say like, no, it's other countries pay these, and it's like,
yeah, I don't think so.
no.
I think it's more insidious than that. But
I think he's too deluded. I think he's too deluded, and he
obviously,
swallowed his own Kool-Aid.
so obviously this is something that I can't like actually provide any evidence of because that would be a crime if they did that. But with this administration, the incompetence level's high. So we'll wait and see. Maybe that'll come out eventually. But I think that, well, I know that he's aware of it anyway. Now, if he decides to believe the opposite in the face of all these professionals telling him otherwise, like, that's just as bad in my opinion. So I guess it doesn't really matter. Either way, it's pretty bad. But I did think it was crazy, though, with the tariffs, that he's like, the Supreme Court said I can't charge him any money, so we're going to do tariffs anyway. Like,
yeah, like, dude. And the thing is like, in the opinion, like, they told him how to do it.
Yeah.
They said, this, if you want to do tariffs, this is how to do it, so we can't interfere.
Congress, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not like, I mean, it's, I don't think tariffs will pass, but I don't think it's a non-zero chance. I mean, I don't think it's a 0 chance that it wouldn't pass. I mean, there's a non-zero chance that it would, but...
Yeah. I was just looking at my video. The color and picture is so much better than usual.
It looks great.
I hate having to use 2 devices to do it, and I think it's pretty pitiful that my phone streams so much better than my PC. But whatever. But yeah. So sorry, tangent. I think that. So Trump says that he thinks that he has the power of Congress unilaterally now, right? So like he thinks Congress has already given him approval to do anything he wants to do.
Yeah.
And that may have been true at one time.
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, I mean, he barely.
That's still not how anything works, but
yeah. I mean, he barely has an advantage in the House and barely has an advantage in the Senate. One of the problems with the Senate is there's at least one and probably a couple of Democrats who are being rat bastards and voting with MAGA all the time. That I don't particularly like, but
I guess Aron's on the way.
Yeah, he's on the way.
Okay. Let me remove this just so we can. Can I remove it? Why does it look like that? Okay, there we go. And then we can pop this back up on there, so we can be ready to go. But yeah, I mean, we know that Trump's a liar, but then every time he lies to us, everybody's like, "Oh, he's lying about this thing," and it's like, "Yeah, no shit. What has he ever told the truth about?" And in fact, it's to the point now to where when he says something, it's a lie automatically. Like it's never the truth.
Ever.
And I don't want to get too far into this idea because it's kind of what I want to talk to Aron about. But the gaslighting has it's at a critical level to where it's like everything is now that. Like anytime Mike Johnson or the Republicans or Trump speaks, it's a lie. And it's crazy though that we have like this small group of MAGA people who, just like I said earlier, like about Trump donating that money. Like if you bring up, oh well, he's suing you for $10 billion, they're like, yeah, but he said he's going to donate that to charity. And it's like, you're stupid for believing that.
I mean, he had a charity fucking shut down because he was stealing from it.
Yeah. Like, he's not allowed to be involved with a charity in the state of New York at all, period.
Yeah.
Like, that's
and
our president.
It was a children's cancer charity. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Oh god, dude.
No, and thank you guys for reaching out to Aron. He does have an email with the link and stuff, so he should be able to get in. But yeah, it's like Trump gives, and I had said before the State of the Union, and I didn't watch it, and I still haven't watched it, and we're not going to watch it here. But, like, of course, watching some of the other political channels and stuff, I've seen some of the highlights and stuff. And, you and I talked about this before. Like, it'll be Trump kissing his own ass. I think I said blowing himself was the term I used. But it'll be him kissing his own ass. And then he will, lie to everybody about everything's so great and how everything's wonderful. And, and it'll go on forever. It'll go on for hours. And it ended up being like a record-breaking long speech, an hour and 47 minutes, which to me, I couldn't even, like, if I wanted to sit and clip that shit, I wouldn't be able to, because that would feel like 4 days. Like, it is so hard to get through one of his speeches. And because you go and you're like, well, let's clip the stupid things on the lies that he says. And it's like, oh, we're just going to have to watch the whole thing because it's all that. Yeah, sorry, guys. We're waiting on Aron to drop in here. If you're just getting here, he said he'll be here soon. Thank you, everybody that's watching, by the way. We'll take this minute to say thanks for joining and watching and everything. If you're here on my channel, go over to Lil's and subscribe. If you're over at Lil's watching, come over here. And if you're on Facebook, go to both of them. But yeah. And I will drop a Lil link here in the chat for you, so you can find her channel if you're here. This will probably post everywhere, though.
It does. It's okay, though.
Well, I try to change it sometimes, but yeah. Let me see here. Let's fix that. There we go. So I'll only post on my channel from now on. But yeah, if you're new here, it'd be cool if you like and subscribe. Both channels would be great. Do what you can. If you don't like it, you can always unsubscribe later. But if you do want to hang out and stuff, I also offer memberships starting at 99 cents where I make extra content. Usually every week, I'll be doing an extra stream. I don't know. I can't tell you whether it'll be tomorrow or the next day because there's some other people streaming some stuff that I don't want to step on. So I'll have to get back to you. But I try to do one every week. And I always do a little bit of something extra for the members and stuff. But so yeah, anyway, back to the thing at hand. I think that the thing that, like, this NPR investigation, right, that uncovered this stuff where this, and it's very, like, she directly accuses Trump of assaulting her in a underage girl type of way, right? And then they know that the FBI has hid these other documents because there's numbers that tie them to it, and that this girl was interviewed at least 3 other times, and that it seems like they were going to prosecute Trump. I think that is one of the most important things going on right now, and the media isn't really talking about it at all. Like they're just, like, they've mentioned it in a few other places, but this should be like the story. This is the biggest scandal in the history of our country. Like, and they don't want to talk about it because Trump will sue them, and don't get much more partisan than NPR. Yeah. Okay.
Go back to your Fox News, dude.
Yeah. I mean, I don't. Let me be clear about something here. I don't really think that any of the mainstream media is all that great. I would say that NPR is one of the less influenced ones, but still, they capitulate too. Like it's. I don't think there is a truly partisan left-wing media now, because
I mean there's not, but if you read several articles about the same thing from a couple different news sources, it's pretty easy to suss out what the actual facts and where the facts and the opinions diverge. And once you kind of get a hang for that, you can pretty much read any article and see that. So
yeah,
I mean, it's not real hard to suss out what the actual facts are in an article. It's just, are they giving you all the facts?
Right.
Which they're usually not. So.
Yeah, no, I agree, and that's really my biggest bitch with like mainstream media is that they purposely like omit the important parts,
Mm-hmm.
and like, or they'll mention like something important in passing and then just skip over it, like, uh,
Mm-hmm.
and sorry, I'm trying to
A lot of times
string
too,
cat.
they'll put those things like you probably know you can read like a couple paragraphs of any article on most news websites, but usually the important bits are hidden behind the paywall. There
Right.
are ways to get around that though.
Oh, sure, and like, I think with like the New York Times, I pay like $1 thing to be able to access that stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
it's worth it just to be able to see what and they email me the stuff every morning of what their, all of their headlines and stuff. They email to me at like 6 o'clock every morning, so it gives
Yeah.
me a chance to be on top of that stuff. And because of what we do, I think that that's like valuable, and it's worth the dollar. So, but the you're so happy they got defunded. Why would you be happy about the suppression of free
The
speech?
reason they defunded it is because they wanted to basically get rid of PBS, get rid of Sesame Street, and bring in PragerU.
Yeah.
Which, if you've ever seen PragerU, like they're a little bit on the problematic side.
Yeah, but why would you ever be happy about the suppression of media? Like,
It is in the
just
First
just
Amendment.
because you
Isn't that
disagree
one
with
important
them.
to you? Oh,
and
wait a
and
second. The
and,
First
and
Amendment's
also,
not
like,
important. It's the
it
second
was
one.
it was public broadcasting in general that got defunded.
Mm-hmm.
And you're talking about things like Sesame Street and stuff. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, that's crazy. Like, to set, like, you claim to care about these issues and stuff, but you're all
Mm-hmm.
for violating people's First Amendment
Yeah,
as long as you can have yours, right?
pretty much. That's the way it
And that's
goes.
that's that's the problem. Like,
Rights for me,
it's,
not for thee.
yeah, it's that the right bitches about all of these things and everything all the time, but then they
Mm-hmm.
don't want it to apply to everybody else, right? It's just for them.
Yeah.
Like, they should have the rights to not have to not have to stomach seeing trans people living their lives, and like, just crazy shit, like awful shit. Like, why would you want anything to do with that? Anyway, I'm not going to. The things that these people do are awful and gross, and to set and like
Mm-hmm.
openly just support the suppression of people's rights and stuff. That's how that
Yeah.
relates to the other thing I just said. Like it's it's just disgusting. Honestly, it's one of those things. And
Yeah.
and whenever I tell you that, like, working on this show is sometimes tough for me, it's because I have to sit and listen to pieces of shit say stuff like this in order to put together clips. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but one thing it does make me good at is knowing the other side's narrative, and then the numbers and stuff that actually the truth about those things,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm a skeptic. I think that's why the skeptic community bots on this so hard, is because it's like all the lies and stuff. You have a bunch of people believing it, and it's the same kind of thing as like the religious claims, where it's like you have people making
Mm-hmm.
these silly claims and stuff that are obviously not true, and you see people who are unable to use critical thinking or the least little bit of
Yeah.
skepticism to look at the questions at all. And uh, oh, we got debate challenges going out in the chat. Get him, Let's Farm, kick his ass. But yeah, Vandalia's going to host the debate. We got people setting up big things out there. But I wouldn't waste your time if I was you guys. Joseph probably won't show up anyway. Uh, the
All I can do is yell in chat.
but this all goes back to the gaslighting thing, right? Where it's like, you can see, like, all you have to do, like, for example, the Alex Preddy and the Renee Good videos. Like, you can see with your own eyes what happened, but they will lie right to your face and tell you that's not what happened. She was trying to hit him with the wheels turned the other way, and he was attacking the cops with his hands up in
Freddie
the
was
air.
fucking de-armed.
Yeah.
He posed no risk to any of them.
Yeah. Well, they de-armed him before they shot him, is what it looked like to me. I mean, it's to me, I mean, my opinion is that they targeted him. And the argument from the right about that is that, oh, well, a week before, it was like 11 days, I think, but like a week before he kicked the car, he's obviously violent. And it's like, what does that, like, so you're telling me that it's okay to murder people in the street because 11 days before he kicked a car? Like, is that really your fucking argument? Like,
if that is, then I'm pretty sure.
You got a mod.
Yeah.
You guys do better at setting up debates than I do. Jesus, the chat here came together to kick Joseph's ass. Well, if you guys do it, I'll review it over here, okay? You don't hold a debate in the chat of someone else's channel, get on screen or shut up. Yeah.
Pretty much.
I don't care if you guys argue in chat and stuff, but, you know. Anyway, so Trump had one of the things that I don't have a clip for, but I wanted to talk about is Kash Patel, right? So there's been news about him on these major investigations, the Charlie Kirk shooting, the Brown College shooting, Brown University shooting, that they didn't have, the FBI was late getting to the scene of these things because Kash Patel had taken one of their two jets and on your dime was out partying and hunting and fishing and listening to his girlfriend sing and having his having FBI agents play Uber drivers for people. And the FBI couldn't do its job. I mean, I think that's obstruction, isn't it? Like, isn't that obstruction of justice? I'm pretty sure it is. But then we see this video this past week of Kash Patel chugging beers with the men's hockey team at the Olympics. Now, to be clear, I don't have a problem with Kash Patel chugging a beer in the locker room after they won the gold medal. I don't have a problem with that at all. Like, okay. But the issue is that he, you know, they lied about it. They said that he wasn't there on the taxpayers' dime. And he very much was. And he was supposed to be representing the country. And the only thing you seen of him was him chugging beers in the locker room. Like, that's kind of skeezy, right? So then, on top of that, the women's team also won a gold medal. How were they treated? How did the administration that cares about women treat them?
It's only the men's sports that matter.
Yeah, Donald Trump openly talked shit about them and just was like, oh, well, they have to be here and all this stuff. And you know, the men's team, they were laughing at it. And I don't really, like, you've got the president on the phone. Maybe you feel like you have to laugh at his stupid jokes. I don't
care.
I don't think it's appropriate. Like,
no.
But it's just another thing of, like, everything that Trump said. They don't just, it's not just that they don't do it and you know it's a lie. It's that they do exactly the opposite and then look at you and say, what? You know, and pretend that they didn't, and it's infuriating. I mean, we know that it's misogyny that got Trump where he is now. Like, that was a major part of why people didn't vote for Kamala Harris. It's because she's a woman and a woman of color, right? And it's a shame that we even have to say out loud that, like, that's a problem of electability and stuff, like, because
it's fucking despicable. It really is.
If and this goes back to education, right? Because we haven't educated people even enough to understand that we're all fucking made of the same stuff. right? Like that we're all exactly the fucking same. We are this species. There's like, and the fact that being a woman of color means, like, what does that? Because that doesn't tell me anything about anyone, right? Like if you say a woman of color, I'm like, okay, well, what about them? Like, like that doesn't tell me their position on anything or what they believe or don't believe or any of that. And I think it's a real shame that we have a bunch of goddamn idiots in this country that vote that way.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like, personally, like I've said, I have zero sympathy for people who voted for Trump this time around. Sorry, like I just do not have it in me anymore because of everything. Like, we told you guys everything that was going to happen.
Yeah.
And they're doing it, and now you're like, oh, well, shit, like, this isn't what I wanted. Yes, it is, motherfucker. It's what you wanted. So fuck off. You just didn't want it for you. You wanted it for other people.
What's up, Maya? I see you. Yeah, it's never about, because there's no honesty to it. There's no truth there. The other thing with Kash Patel, what was I gonna say? I don't know. Let's move on. So yeah, so this all comes back to, though, like this NPR investigation again, like Kash Patel, who's out doing all these. The thing I know. Never mind. So Kash Patel has been using the jet to fly around and do these things, and he made this quote about, if you have hockey and fishing or whatever, you'll be seeing a lot of me. Kash Patel publicly on his own podcast was out there saying how Christopher Wray was using jets and that he should be, in trouble for using them for personal use and all this stuff. And so far, that's the only thing Kash Patel has done.
Yeah. And there is a logical reason why you would want someone like the FBI director to have a private plane, because if something major happens, he can go to a secure area and take care of whatever he needs to take care of, and he can also get back to Washington. Because, if you think of, we've had terrorist attacks and crap that, you need to make sure that the right people are in the right place, and that's one way to ensure that. So, there is a reason behind it. I mean, it's not, just being, frivolous as hell.
Do you think that it's weird that all of these people in the Trump administration have controversy about planes? Like Kristi Noem also has a big thing going on about a plane.
I just realized that. Holy shit.
And it's really weird that they're all obsessed with getting these big, huge planes. And like in Kristi Noem's case, she doesn't get to even keep that at all. There's no way that Trump is going to keep it. But which I have some questions about that, because I have a feeling that some of the alterations that they have to do to it to make it be able to fly as Air Force One, to be safe to carry the president, I feel like some of those things may be secret. And you're just going to turn it over to him to do what he wants with it. I mean, not that, he hasn't already shared, files with everybody in the world and all of that stuff. He's, but it's, I just think it's odd that there's all at the same time, there's all this shit about airplanes. There's, Kristi Noem fucking her aides on airplanes and leaving her blanket and firing people and then spending $80 million or something on a plane. And I just I don't know. I think it's strange. But anyway, the response teams that were supposed to go to these universities after mass shooting events, I mean, there couldn't be a more important thing. And Kash Patel and everybody else in the government's aware that the FBI only has a couple planes, and he's out just gallivanting in one of them, out, boats and hoes, like whatever you want to call it. Like, he's just doing whatever he wants and making a fool of himself and embarrassing the country in the process. And the the corruption that is involved, not just with Kash Patel, but like across this administration, and why it is that nobody on the Republican side even pushes to have somebody held accountable.
Yeah.
Like, I get that Trump's not going to do anything, but none of the Republican congressmen are like, hey, maybe you shouldn't be doing that thing that we spoke out against for years and saying it was awful and stuff. Like, maybe you shouldn't do that. I just, the level of corruption to be that way is obvious. And again, it's like even the American people that aren't that smart can see through these lies and stuff and know that they're lies.
And I mean, it doesn't help the fact that everybody in his fucking cabinet, like, is fucking psychotic too. Like, I mean, they all are. It's just like, oh my god, there's like massive scandals about fucking everybody.
Yeah. Well, I don't think our guest is coming. It doesn't look like that's going to happen. So let's go ahead and move on here with the video that I meant to play. I sometimes whenever I sit and just keep bitching about what they're doing and stuff for so long.
We tried.
Yeah, I was trying to hold out, but all right. So let me get this video back up. I got everything screwed up here. All right, so we're not watching the State of the Union, but I do want to talk Spanberger. I think I gave the wrong name earlier, or maybe I did give that right. I don't know, but Governor.
Send him a new link. Send Aron a new link.
Okay, that'll take me a second.
Yeah, it's just it's and the thing that shocks me more than anything else is like my kids do not know what normal or like even just typical political discourse in this country looks like.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think that's really important. Like the young people that see this now, I think that this is how things are supposed to work and stuff. Like
because like my kids now are 21 and 19. They have lived with this shit since they were like 8 and 10. And so, and of course, like they were not paying attention to any of the politics before that, and they've only been paying attention the last few years. And so, yeah, like they don't even know what normal discourse looks like, and like that makes me worry for the generation coming up. That's just like, damn, that like they don't know. They think this is normal, and this is so far outside of normal. It's insane. It drives me nuts that like people like me were sitting here screaming this 10 years ago and people didn't fucking listen.
Well, I think that's one of the like I think that's one of the major things to consider is the long-term damage of what Trump and this administration has done, not just to the government itself, but to the American people, to these to children who think like like we were talking about, like they think this is the way things are supposed to work. They think you're supposed to act like a fucking idiot about politics. Like politics used to be boring, and it used to be the case that at least like even if you disagreed with who the president was or who one of your congressmen were, or whatever, even if you disagreed on those things, you still had respect for the office, right? And they have kind of pissed that away. Like, they've made it not serious in any way.
Woohoo!
What's up, Aron?
Hello!
My sincere apologies. I did not have this on my calendar today. I checked my calendar. I've got one thing later this afternoon. This wasn't there, so I took off.
You're fine, sir.
You're fine.
You're great.
Yeah, you got to understand. I'm an old guy. I ride old school. I don't wear a helmet. I don't have my phone jacked into my microphone in my helmet. All that kind of shit. I ride old school. So I ride a very loud motorcycle and I have wind in my ears. So when I slow way down to make a right-hand turn, that's when I hear my phone going off. And I can't answer it on the road, right? So I've got to pull over someplace. And it's fucking Peter. Oh, God damn it. What am I doing for now? Yeah.
I liked your picture of your horned helmet there that you had been riding around in.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, that thing's cool.
Different, but the picture you're talking about, that was a wonderful machine. I loved that bike. But a tornado threw a tree at it.
Oh, wow.
Which is really upsetting because I rode that thing for 20 years and it never broke down. It's the only vehicle I've ever had that never broke down.
Yeah. I was going to say you that's amazing because mine don't usually make it a year without that.
And I get home and she wants attention, right? So as soon as I sit down, she jumps to the top of my computer and hits the power button.
Oh no.
Let me switch back over to the other screen here and add you on there real quick so we can.
Yeah, luckily.
Can people hear what I'm saying right now?
Yeah, they can hear you.
Luckily, my dogs have behaved, so there is that.
Yeah, and then when Peter finally reaches me, I'm like 20 minutes from the house.
Well, I mean,
so I got a roar back there, and then they've got somebody blocked off the fast way home, so it's all under construction. So I now have to detour through fucking suburbs and all the school zone shit, and then I had to do that again later on. It was frustrating because I can't just let me run home real quick. That wasn't going to happen.
Well, I appreciate you, even getting here to do it at all. So it's all good, man. Like, what are you drinking today?
You're supposed to accept my apology because I should have known about this, and I don't know why it wasn't on my calendar, but it wasn't.
Okay. You're fine. I accept your apology, and thank you. So right away though, just jumping right into it. There has been, and we see this increasing too, like a lot of people in the atheist secular community who are covering more of this political stuff. You've kind of been involved with different political issues for a number of years anyway. But like whenever you look at the landscape now of why it's so important, what is like the connective tissue there that you see that's making this necessary? Oh no, he froze.
Oh no. Did the cat jump?
Oh, there he goes.
Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. I started out my channel combating not only young Earth creationism, but to a larger degree Christian nationalism. That was the thing that motivated me. When I first got online, I find myself on Usedet, I'm on Talk.Origins, I'm talking with the believers out there, and they explain to me how they have illegally conspired. All of their ministers were all locked into each other, so they would get each other on the phone, and then they tell their whole congregations who to vote for, so that in violation of the Johnson Amendment and all that, so that they would replace all of the secular politicians with evangelicals and whatnot, and fundamentalists at every level of state and federal government across the country. And so these people were bragging to me that they'd already positioned all these school board members and senators and judges and all of this at every level. And there was nothing I could do about it. This is going to be a theocracy. They're going to overturn. The people I was talking to then were Reconstructionists. So they wanted to overturn the republic, the Constitution, all of it, and turn it into a theocracy that enforces Levitical law. That was their goal.
Wow.
And so that's what started my channel. Well, we're a quarter century on, and they won. They basically won. But for all of their barking about how atheists can't have any morals, look what they're doing. Look what they're defending. When Pam Bondi got on stage and refused to answer any questions, that answered some questions. Pam Bondi, were there underage girls at any of these parties? Her answer is, this is so ridiculous. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So the answer was no. I think he would have said no.
Yeah, yeah.
But the
And
answer's
I think,
not no. And you
sorry.
know that the answer's not no. And more than that, so not only are you aware that the answer is not no, and you're lying under oath, you're also complicit in this. And for all the time that when they asked her about you're Attorney General, who are you investigating? Well, how come you didn't ask Merrick Garland? Okay, well, there's a handful of reasons. One is because a lot of these things were under investigation already, right, but for different things, and so there was no way that we could we could begin a new whatever, because for the data that wasn't available until whatever. But let's go back before that, Pam Bondi, because where was Jeffrey Epstein living? Florida. You were Attorney General of Florida.
Yeah.
You fell to the Attorney General's job during that year. When did it fall to you to investigate him, to expose him, and all of these other connections? When it was your watch, and you didn't.
I would say Pam Bondi's the most relevant person to ask, right? Like, I mean, even let's say that there wasn't like the Ghislaine Maxwell trial and appeals and all that going on, that they couldn't get Merrick Garland into it or whatever. Even if that is the case, and they could have gotten him to come and talk, Pam Bondi would still be the most relevant person to ask those questions to. And the fact that she lied and Kash Patel lied under oath about these things shows that it's a conspiracy to cover up these things.
Let's look at this now. Pam Bondi not only knows that there were underage girls there, but when the law was mandated that they release all these files, they're not going to release the files. They can't.
Yeah, they're going to find every excuse in the book not to,
including deleting anything that references Trump in a criminal way, anything that implicates Trump. They're going to just flat out delete that.
Yeah, there was this statistic. Sorry.
We know that means that the Attorney General, the reason why she's not going to convict anybody, she's not going to investigate anybody, the reason why other countries are doing arrests and we are not, is because she is complicit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree completely.
She knows that Trump raped that 14-year-old, and then there was another time with a 12-year-old and a 13-year-old where he forced both of them to service him, and then brutalized them afterward. Right, and this is all in front of witnesses. And these are not just allegations; these were FBI interviews that, for whatever reason, never went anywhere. And so we know that Jeffrey Epstein could have been arrested earlier than he was, and there was sufficient information to incriminate him a long while back. But then it was a Bush-appointed Attorney General. It was during the Bush administration who decided, no, we're just going to let this guy be.
Yeah.
So why was that? It's because Epstein had tied in everybody. Like all the most powerful people in the world were all part of this thing. And isn't it amazing? If you'd said this 15 or 20 years ago, you would sound like the most paranoid conspiracy theorist. But now we have proof. It is a conspiracy, and it is global.
Peter has said to tell you to move your mic over, that you're on the wrong mic.
What you sent me a link to something that I don't recognize. I don't know what this program is or how to. I've never been on this program.
Oh, okay.
Because for whatever reason, it's not a StreamYard link.
No, it's EVMux. It's
another one.
Yeah. I used StreamYard forever until they doubled the price on me, and then I couldn't justify doing it. So,
all right. Well, I'm trying to find.
There should be a gear that you can go to in an audio tab. But just while you're looking at that, no, I think you're exactly right, and these people are complicit, and what we of course they're not going to prosecute themselves.
I guess you can't hear me.
No,
did my cat turn off my fucking microphone?
No, we got you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, perfectly.
Okay, I thought my cat turned off the microphone as well as the fucking computer. Cats are amazing. How is it that they can walk across your keyboard and then you got to spend all day calling tech support to figure out how to undo whatever the cat just did?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So the right before the State of the Union, which I didn't really watch that. I've seen some of the highlights on other political channels and stuff, but
I wasn't going to watch that. Why would I listen to a guy lie to me?
Yeah.
I was on streams all night anyway, so I was just like,
prices are down, healthcare is free. It's 1945. Yeah, just bullshit us all you want to.
Your life is wonderful.
I covered it enough for my regular job. I'm just like, nope, not watching it. Not watching it too.
Yeah.
My
life is so fucking wonderful right now.
Although you're in my neck of the woods, I'm also in Texas, near
Dallas.
Where at? So yeah, you know where Greenville is?
Yeah, that's right down the road. About what, 2 hours?
Something like that. I'm about 30 minutes on the other side of that. I grew up in Dallas. I grew up in Crockett's district.
Yeah, I unfortunately lived right outside. I live right outside of where her district was. Because they redistricted her so that she doesn't have a district.
Yeah.
Right.
But on the plus side, I saw a poll that, somebody reported a poll that she's somehow leading Tallarico, and polling to win against Paxton.
Oh, awesome!
Good.
So all the people that said, well, he's the one, he can win because only white wieners can win.
Yeah.
Right? We can't have. When are the Dems going to learn you can't run a black woman against a white man? That's how we got into this mess. Seriously.
Yeah.
Every Republican's blaming the Democrats for them voting for Trump.
Yeah, they're trying to.
It's the Democrats' fault we have Trump because we forced the Republicans to vote for Trump because otherwise they would have to vote for a superior candidate.
Yeah.
With who is more qualified than any previous candidate. So that's why we have to get the least qualified, worst possible example, because at least that boy was white.
Yeah, I think whenever they said that she was like a DEI candidate, that's like one of the most offensive things like that. I'll
tell you one thing about her. It's fine if Tallarico wins. If Tallarico wins the primary, right, he will have my full-on support. He will also have her full-on support.
Yeah.
Okay, it'll be just like when Bernie got burned by the Democratic Party and put all his support behind Hillary because he knows the bigger picture, right? That it's not about him. Right? So I'm so down with that. However, if she wins the primary, she will win the general. She better have the absolute full support of the entire Democratic Party and all of the progressive independents, everybody that wants to pretend like they know what the fuck is going on or that they care about anything should back her. Just absolutely. If you can vote for her, vote for her. And here's the thing. Not only is she the better candidate than any Republican anywhere, but
Yeah.
it's not just for right now. I honestly think that if Jasmine Crockett were to get into the position, I think she would be a better in the long term.
Hmm.
That
Yeah.
years down the road there will be other opportunities where we will be happy that we have her in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that she's been, and not just for the sound bites and that stuff, but that she's been an amazing representative in the
She's
House.
fast on her feet, you know, and sometimes
Yes,
that matters. When you've got if some people had been complaining that she's like a social media influencer. The world is in social media right now. Do you really
Yeah.
want to get some Joe Biden kind of dinosaur who can't even speak the language?
right,
Hmm.
right. The
So
yeah,
you have to
I
have somebody that is fast on their feet and knows it. You can get it's like when you do those debates with creationists, right? You can get the greatest scientist, the most respected, seasoned, brilliant, whatever in his field. But if his deal isn't debating idiots
yeah.
and he doesn't
Hmm.
know their game, they will show him up to be. They will make him look like a fool.
This is
Yeah.
a point I've been trying to make with some of the atheist community is that if you go and you entertain actually debating someone like Kent Hovind or one of these other creationists that you it's not just about the facts, like the facts are important,
It's not
but
even about the facts.
right,
Hmm.
that's not, you're playing a different game, right? And you walk away thinking, well, I gave facts that are true, so I won. But that's not how it's
No.
viewed. Debating things is about being effective, not being right.
Hmm.
Then
And
they have a completely different set of rules. They
right,
sit there and insult you and interrupt you and try to be antagonistic as they possibly can. And if you justifiably lose your patience with their impudent ridiculousness, you lost
yeah,
because it's whoever is the most rude wins if they're still laughing at the end.
right,
Hmm.
right.
It's
That
insane, it's stupid, but then so is the world right now.
yeah, right, right. Yeah,
I
it's
got
not
into a
like
debate with the McClechky clan, the father and son. I can't
Oh, yeah.
remember.
oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and granddad of that equation is his. He's all about constant interruptions and insults and saying the stupidest shit that he can to be accusatory about shit that we're not even talking about. That it doesn't even relate to me.
Hmm.
Why the fuck you even bring this up? This was the topic, not over there, but something I'm involved with. Take it up with me, not something that had nothing to do with me or the topic. But
yeah.
that's the way they debate. It is
Well,
childish, it is insane, it is stupid, but then so is the planet right now.
so I learned. I'm not going to give you the whole background, but I debated Kent Hovind. Okay, so
I'm
I
sorry.
had learned though from my previous experience with him that what he was going to do was like there was no reason to prepare like facts and all these things and get ready for a debate with Kent. Instead, what I did was just make him continually admit what he believed, and instead of actually, even entertaining the well, you can't explain the universe and evolution and paleontology and archaeology and all that shit. Like I just made him continually say that he believed that it was all done by magic, and broke his script, and I think it went
That
well.
is the way with him. Absolutely the
Hmm.
way with him.
Uh,
Very
Well,
much
you
so.
can't explain this. You can't explain that. You can't explain dick.
right.
So your favorite magic imaginary friend, your I dream, the dreamy genie, right? Said abracadabra and poof, there it is, and that's your whole and sole explanation for anything and everything.
Yeah, yeah. I've learned to just
Dumbass.
be like, okay, you're right. I'm completely wrong. All of science is wrong. Now you tell me how it happened, and let them go from there. And often they won't even answer that. They'll just go back to, well, evolution's bullshit or whatever. Like they have no other thing to say than that. And I think
What I like
sometimes
about
just
Kent Hovind is he unwittingly admits the whole game because he
yeah,
doesn't know what any of it is. So in his debate with me, he's talking to his people in his audience, right? So he'll interrupt me. He'll hit pause on my presentation, and then talk to his panel of idiots, his slaves essentially, because he runs a slave camp. These people do
Yes.
volunteer work for him, and he just exploits their labor, and that's what it is. They're slaves of their own device because they're stupid, but that's what it is. So he's talking to them, and he explains how speciation can't happen and how natural selection actually does work. So he admits to the origin of species by means of natural selection, but it then says Darwin was completely wrong.
Yeah.
Admits
Well,
that Darwin's absolutely right, but he's completely wrong because Kent is one of the more profoundly stupid people
yeah.
out there. But yeah, and so but Ken Ham is smarter and also, if possible, less honest.
Yeah. Ken Ham's theology is dumber if you give that, but he's smarter in his tactics of how he
Let's at least
spreads
say
it.
he's more crafty.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I would
Hovind
agree.
Hovind is limited by his mental incapacity.
Yeah, yeah. Hovind knows how to pull up and read the same slides that he's been reading for 30 years. He has nothing else other than that. Uh,
So you believe everything came from a rock
yeah,
because the textbook said the Earth was once a ball of molten rock and metal. My textbook says rock and metal. I got Hovind to admit that frozen forms of water, for example, called ice, it's not called rock. So frozen solid water is not rock. So we have a lot more than just rock. It's not just rock. And then the textbook he's referring to then talks about how other chemicals rain down from space that were, again, not rock. And then life formed from liquid, which is, by definition, not rock.
not rock.
But Kent Hovind, malignant narcissist, he's up there with Trump and Hitler in this mental disease that he has, cannot ever admit when he's wrong
Yeah.
because that would mean his whole life.
We got Big Bad Mama who makes a lot of content about Ken Hovind and the stupid things that he says. Makes a lot of shorts and stuff making fun of him. And
I think somebody should just make channels talking about Trump.
we spend a lot of time on it here.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
just go through his speeches because I mean, like, I just did his prayer breakfast. I only selected 3 minutes
Yeah.
out of his prayer breakfast.
Yeah.
I've been editing that too.
Every sentence he ever says is wrong. It's just like with Hovind. Every fucking sentence is wrong.
Yeah.
I've seen Hovind tell more lies in one sentence than there were words in that sentence. Where he
That's
told
amazing.
19 lies in a 18-word sentence, something like that, because of
That's
all the misdirection and implications of false and fallacious assumptions and all of that shit.
right.
I wish that when this happened, like way back in Y2K, I wish I had recorded the sentence and saved it in something that would. But unfortunately, that was on Usenet, and
Yeah.
Usenet doesn't even exist anymore. So when I go
Right.
back to the original post, there isn't one.
That's almost like amazing. Like he should be given an award or something for that.
Yeah, you told
Dumbass
19
award.
lies in one sentence.
Yeah.
That's
Uh,
amazing.
Yeah.
Big Bad Mama sent a $10 super chat and says, "Hi, Aron. Do you think a debate misleads people into thinking that creation and evolution are somehow equal in standing? That the
Yes.
scientific community is equally divided on the issue?"
Wait, the scientific community is equally divided on. You mean give the
I think
impression
I
that the
think he's
scientific community
asking
is
both
equally
of those
divided?
things.
Okay, the scientific community is not 100%, but 99.86% for evolution
Yeah.
against creationism. 99.86% is pretty significant. That means that 0.14% give credence to creationism.
The Discovery Institute. That's it.
And each of those people were already indoctrinated before they got their degrees. In case of the Discovery Institute, each of those people got their degrees because, and sometimes they admit this, like Jonathan Wells admitted this, that he got his degree so that, for the purpose of, he went to college for years and years so that he could undermine Darwinism from within. That was his goal, entering school. So they have a compulsion to make believe what is not evidently true, and they will tell any lie necessary to defend their truth. And the thing that I'm really frustrated about is after 25 years of arguing, or probably 30, of arguing with creationists on the daily forever, is that they know that they're lying and they don't care.
Right.
They know that I know that they know that they're lying and they don't care. They
Right.
know that we know that they know that they're
Yeah.
lying and they
And
still don't care.
I think if you go back and look at like the what's it called, the back in the 70s, the Creation Institute, if you go back and look at what their whole game plan was, that's what it was all along. It was never about knowing the truth. It was always about, if we cast doubt on evolution, we can get some percentage of people to come to our side.
As I mentioned when I started my channel, the thing that motivated me, that one of the other factors on that was people that when the wedge strategy was accidentally leaked by the Discovery Institute.
Yeah.
The goal was to get students to distrust science so that they would be more susceptible, and I believe that was the actual word used, so that they would be more susceptible to intelligent design. So we could translate that as, when you can't impress them with brilliance, baffle them with bullshit. That's honestly their game. So they deliberately lie, and the Board of Education did the same thing. We brought in a panel of experts, historians, to talk to the Board of Education, to explain to them how the founding fathers and other people had expressly said that the United States was not based on the Judeo-Christian God. It was not based on a covenant between God and Moses, which was the lie that they were trying to tell as part of American exceptionalism. That the founders were explicitly clear that the Ten Commandments had zero influence over the formation of our Constitution, or our legal system, and our government, and all of that. But the people on the Board of Education admitted shamelessly that they needed to teach students that it was, even if they knew that it wasn't, because they need students to believe that it was,
Yeah.
regardless what the truth is. That's the thing that mystifies me. When you know that it's not really true, but you're determined to believe what you know is not really true,
Make believe.
I'm lost. How the fuck do you how do you rationalize that?
Right.
So
It,
you're a
it makes it
stupid
hard to
liar,
have
and you admit to
conversations.
being a stupid liar, but you dearly love the stupid lie.
Yeah. Yeah. It makes it really tough to have conversations with people that are just going to, like, they
And I'm
can't
not
even
even
have
talking
an
about
honest conversation in passing
I'm
in
not
life.
even talking about people like like Kent Hovind or whatever, just yet isolating to them. I'm talking about people in our own fucking family.
Sure.
Yeah.
My mother, I've got we've all got like our parents or our siblings or whatever who are entrenched in this, and you know how easy it would be to prove your position. Let's say, let's both ask each other questions and let's both answer those questions and see who's got the goods. That's what
Yeah.
got me started on Usenet, because when I went to talk.origins, you had you had the apologists on one side, and you had the scientists on the other, and you would have somebody just throw out a question and see how they both answer, and it was immediately obvious every single time that the scientists had the goods and the creationists were making up bullshit, pulling it out of their ass,
Yeah.
and not caring how much they had to lie. But we're also talking about our family. We can't get our families to listen to any kind of truth. My own mother will tell me the most ridiculous shit, and I'll say, "Okay, let's Google that." The thing you said. She said, "You're telling me that I should know about all these things that you're talking about. Well, let's Google it, shall we? Is there a single example on any feed anywhere that reflects what you said? Oh, look at that. No.
Yeah.
Are you going to admit you're wrong? Ever? What does it take for you to admit you're wrong? Because you've never, ever, you've always been wrong every single time. You and I argue. I'm always right. You're always wrong. You're never going to admit. We can prove it every single time. But you
I
think
was raised
this is going
younger
to be
in
the first time? You
creationists.
think this? You can ignore the pattern, but you think this time you're going to be right. You think Democrats are advocating for post-birth abortions? Really? Let's Google that. Let's find anybody who supports that. Oh, look, fucking nobody. What we
Yeah.
have is a lie told by Donald Trump and nothing else. And that's it, and that's all. I know what the basis of that story is, by the way. There was a pair of conjoined twins, and while they managed to give birth, by cesarean, they managed to give birth to these conjoined twins. They start doing the math on how these twins are going to grow. One of them is parasitic.
Right.
The other one can live on their own and support the other one for a time, but the ratios are separate. They curve slightly differently, so that within a year or two, the parasite is going to kill both of them.
Right.
We can save one of their lives, but it means deliberately killing the other one. There's a giant question there, an ethical question. It's certainly a legal question.
Yeah.
We are not legally allowed to save one of their lives because it means killing the other one, so we will have to let both of them die because of the law.
Yeah.
So that's the ethical question. That's what the conservatives were talking about at the post-birth abortion, because this is obviously happening post-birth. They would have to decide which of these twins, if they remove the parasitic twins, so that one of them at least could live. And that's how it got turned into that Democrats, all of us, want to want to just be able to have babies and then kill them.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how grotesquely dishonest these people are. Understand, creationism is just lying. It's just a pack of lies. That's it. That's all. There's no truth to it.
Yeah.
By extension, religion. Every religion is a body of lies. It's all of these assertions pretending to know shit you don't know, claiming facts that are not facts, which are both fundamentally lies. Honest Abe said that it is an established fact in morals that he who makes an assertion without knowing whether it is true or false is guilty of falsehood. And the accidental truth of the assertion does not justify or excuse him. And what that means is every religion is a lie. If you claim to know things you don't know, you have to show that you know the thing. And if you can't, then you don't. Shut the fuck up. You're a liar. But we
Yeah.
live in a post-truth world. We
Yeah.
live where the liars rule everything, and they think that if they make believe strong enough, then they can make reality become whatever they want to believe. I know my mother believes that because she told me so. She criticized me for jinxing it.
Oh.
A scammer calls her on the phone, tells her she's won a bunch of money, but before they can give her her check, as you would think, you've won the sweepstakes, right? So what do? They contact you. Then they're going to come to your door with a big, like, 5-foot check, right? and in cameras to show you that. But no, these people call her on the phone. I traced the number to a rural house in Missouri out in the sticks, pretending to be the Publishers Clearinghouse. But my mother is convinced that it's Publishers Clearinghouse just told her that she's won $11 billion. But for whatever reason, they can't pay her fortune until she pays them a few $100s to establish the link to her. No!
Yeah.
Fucking. Why don't you Google Publishers Clearinghouse, how they receive? It says, Publishers Clearinghouse clearly states, we will not, it's not, none of this is true. We will not call you like that. We, we will call to tell you when we will be there with the check.
Right.
So we will show it. We don't need a goddamn thing from you. You don't need to pay us. If anybody tells you that you won our money but they need you to pay us anything, hang up the phone. It's a scam. But these people want to believe so desperately. They want to believe that quite the opposite of if you're interested in truth, you don't want to be fooled into believing anything that isn't true. So the most beautiful news, you'll still test it. If somebody contacts me and tells me that I want a fuck ton of money, I'm going to try to fight that disappointment. I'm going to check that every way that I possibly can because I don't want to believe it for an instant if it's not true. But my mother is convinced that if you believe it hard enough, it will become true. So when somebody calls her and they tell her that we can't transmit the money until you give us your bank account information and your social security number and your passwords and all that shit. And she just hands it over.
Yep.
So I know that I'm going to spend the whole rest of the day at the bank, not for the first time, because this happens repeatedly. But and the whole time, rather than thanking me for saving her from yet another scam, she's criticizing me for harshing the buzz because if I'd gone along with it, if I pretended that I believed it too, then it would be real.
Right.
Um,
What do you do
yeah.
with people like that? And that's the code.
Oh.
Yeah. I knew that
Well,
was going to happen.
yeah. Like I've dealt with the same thing in my family, so yeah, I get it, and I totally get that frustration. I'm still
Mhm.
dealing with it.
I was raised young Earth creationist and didn't find out different until I went to college. So, yeah, I feel you.
And
In
you really
fact,
grew up in Kentucky?
oh yeah, I've been here my whole life. Rural
I feel
Kentucky.
for you. I think the only advantage I had was that I was raised in Los Angeles.
Yeah. Yeah. I grew up believing a lot of weird things and a lot of awful, bigoted
Mm.
things as well. And it was later in life that I learned differently. And it's actually like once I realized that everything I was told was a lie, that I went out looking to confirm my faith, not deny it, and still found more and more that it was a lie. And it was shortly after that I discovered like Christopher Hitchens doing debates and stuff. And then
Mm-hmm.
actually you and your story of having a fundamentalist family and things, and a lot of those things is what led me to where I am now doing this. So yeah, I can feel you on all of that.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. But
I want to apologize again because I realize that it feels like probably for the last half hour I've been the only one to say anything.
Oh no, you're the
hey,
speaker. That's what you're supposed to
no,
do.
no, we wanted we love to hear you speak, and
Mm-hmm.
I think that you said a lot of important stuff in doing so. We do have another question for you from the audience, though. Deviant Outcast sent 200 Swedish krones, which is
Just call him
SEK.
Sex.
I always said she sends all of her sex to us. But question for Aron. Do people hinge too much hope on the upcoming midterm? I feel it's a dangerous horse to hitch all of your future to. I do not trust Trump and have no imaginations of there being a midterm worth its name.
Make no mistake, the midterm matters more than any election we've ever had. It is true that the last election we had was the most important election of our lives until this one is even more important than the last one. Why? Because 100 million people decided to stay home. They decided, I'm not going to vote for a black woman.
Yeah.
She is religious and therefore has been raised since a child to say that she supports Israel, and it would be taken the wrong way if she said that she doesn't support Israel. That would mean that she supports Islam and she doesn't understand what the real implications are. And therefore, I'm not going to vote for her. I'm going to vote for the guy who said that he's going to destroy Palestine entirely and set up a golf course on its ashes. That's how fucking stupid these people are.
Yeah.
At least on the Democratic side, if you give them a moment and some social pressure, they will figure out, oh, so when I say that I support Israel, it means it's interpreted to mean that I support genocide. I clearly do not support genocide. I was taught that Israel had a right to defend itself, but I wasn't fed all of the other information for all the other shit wrong with this, and maybe I shouldn't be saying that slogan anymore. So if somebody has been trained to say this their whole lives and they're not fluent in the intricacies thereof, then you're going to hire the guy who says, kill all the Palestinians. And let me put up a new Mar-a-Lago on their ruin. That's justification?
That has been my problem with some of the Democratic candidates and things, that they have been kind of flimsy on the on the Palestine thing. Like Gavin Newsom's had some pretty bad takes on it, and you know, but
Yeah.
but
And Gavin Newsom has also had some pretty bad takes on trans issues too.
yeah,
So somebody called me today lamenting about how Gavin Newsom keeps throwing trans people under the bus. Somebody needs to inform these people. Somebody needed to inform Kamala Harris early on. Don't say that you support Israel. Be reserved in your comments.
Yeah.
Let us explain to you why, so that you fully understand how that will be interpreted by a bunch of other people. Whether or not it's what you mean, this is how a lot of people will interpret that. Gavin Newsom, yeah, okay, trans people represent 1% of the population, if that. So you would think it's safe to diss on the 1%, right? Everybody else is going to understand. No, because there's a whole lot of us that will support the rights of just a few of us. So you need to learn some détente. And we want you to win. But you're going to have to pull your head out of your ass and reread your own propaganda and understand the way that other people interpret it. Whether or not you think that's how it's read.
no, I think you're right. I think a lot of times it's not that anybody's looking to jump on these people or whatever. Like, we want them to do better. Like, it's not, it's not, what you think it is on the surface. But yeah, no, I agree with you completely. I've got another question. I just can't find it. I've seen it come in. I just can't.
While you're that, because I apologize that I'm ranting so much. It's just I can't tell you the way that I'm feeling right now.
Oh, I agree.
This last election was devastating for me because I really wanted to think higher of my country.
Yeah.
To know that so many people, that there was anybody could deliberately and intentionally vote for Ted Cruz to stop Beto O'Rourke from winning.
Yeah.
I don't understand how people, just in general, can be that fucking stupid. When I ran for office, and I encourage everybody that wants to run, please run. It's not for me. I would have done it. I would have made a freak of myself. I would have been an example to be torn apart in the news just because I thought it needed to be done. I knew that I wasn't going to win against Bob Hall when I ran. But I considered running just because I wanted the debate. I knew what the debate would look like. My opponent was a young Earth creationist. My opponent's primary platform, the most important thing in the world today, of all the things that we can take on as issues, his most important issue was to make sure that trans people couldn't pee. I thought that if I just get to the debate stage with this guy, if I have a single debate with this guy, I will be able to show him what a hateful, stupid, dishonest bigot he is. And that's all I wanted. I knew I can't win. Yep, not in this district.
Yeah.
Not with as many white supremacist headquarters as there are in my district. I know I'm not going to win. When in a situation where there's never been a Democrat for the last 6 elections, it's just Republicans primarying each other, wherein both of them are evangelical Christians and both of them accuse the other of being in league with Satan. Can you imagine an election where one of these evangelical Christians has to run against me?
Yeah. I mean, I see a lot of that here, where it's just,
There are some districts where somebody like me might actually win just because, look at that guy. He's a fucking full-on Satanist. But look at the other guy. He's evil.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Texas is not one of those places.
No, not the best place to start that.
Watching politics here is so depressing sometimes. Like,
yeah. Texas
especially my district. My district's like plus 40 red. It's like absurd.
Texas is often what I look to for bad examples of how to operate in politics. I mean,
Thanks,
but you've
Joe.
got Ted
Thank
Cruz
you.
and I mean, look at who you've got down there right now. I mean, it's
You have Mitch McConnell too, so
Okay,
Yeah.
let's talk about one more thing. Since you brought up those 3 names, we got Donald Trump, Ted Cruz, Mitch McConnell. There was a time when I realized that Donald Trump was the first example I could think of in the world of somebody who had absolutely no positive attributes. I could say something good about Richard Nixon, and Nixon was an absolute shit. Nixon was far worse than you know. It's not just Watergate. Nixon did actually evil shit that cost thousands of people their lives. Nixon was horrible. More so than, and when the news came out 30 years after it was relevant, nobody cared. If we'd known that 30 years earlier, or 40, 50 years earlier, that would have been significant. But Donald Trump, somebody told me that they like Donald Trump, that they like him a lot. Like, how the fuck is that possible? Don't you have to have, shouldn't there be something good you could say about the man? I mean, Hitler was a vegetarian who loved dogs.
yeah.
And he was an artist. What the fuck can you say about Trump? He never had a pet. There are things I can say good about Nixon, about Donald Trump, not Donald Trump. I could say about Hitler. But I can't find any fucking good thing to say about Donald Trump. And then it occurred to me, Mitch McConnell, what do we got? He has an Asian wife, as I do. Okay? That's it. That's the one thing. Ted Cruz. He tried to defend his wife once publicly and then threw her under the bus for Donald Trump. And his own daughter, in a publicity video meant to support him, refused to kiss her own father on the cheek. She turned her head in disgust. His own daughter did that. Where I'm not entirely sure, think about this seriously, has Ivanka Trump ever fondled her father's junk?
I would not be
Are you
surprised.
sure that that's never happened?
I mean, you couldn't make that statement. I don't think.
I would not be shocked.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. There's not, and the things that the right does say that are positive about Trump are all lies. Like, it's never like he's
the
a great
things he's
businessman.
doing.
Yeah.
What are the great things? Give me a great thing, Donald
Yeah.
Trump. I mean, he fucked me. So people ask me, well, how did Donald Trump personally, how have the Democrats personally helped you? How has Donald Trump personally hurt you? Okay, I'm in my 60s. I no longer have health care. I can't. You know what my health care is? That's it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Same here. Yeah.
So
I
when shit gets bad, I have a cure-all that is affordable because a 45 round only costs a couple of bucks. But that's my health care now, thanks to the Repugnacants. And by the way, I pronounce that Repugnacants.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, people ask me, well, why don't you ride without a helmet? I'm like, in this healthcare economy?
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm much better off with a quick.
Yeah.
There's no helmet law in Kentucky. I wrecked without one on. I don't care for it.
Yeah. I've been riding for my whole life, and I haven't had a really serious wreck. I mean, I've had, but there have been a couple of times that somebody does the thing where they look you in the eye and then turn left in front of you as if you're not there.
Yeah.
Bitch, you looked right into my eyes before you did that.
Yeah.
But I have seen where even in low speed impacts, the helmet didn't matter. And for example, I remember one place in a 25 mile an hour zone, there was a motorcycle under a car, and the helmet was a ways away from both of them. And there was a head in it.
Oh, I was a firefighter and seen a person with a helmet. Their head got ran over by a coal truck. The helmet did little. I've seen a lot of gruesome things working as a firefighter.
I don't want to be misunderstood. My son wears a helmet. It has already saved his life. He had an incident where he was thrown into a tree, and if he had not been wearing a helmet, he would have been dead. At the same time, though, I remember when I was a kid, there was a guy and his lady. They're on a bike and they hit the back of a flatbed, and it threw them both up into the air. Her body was found on the top of a telephone pole. Her body was on the top of a telephone pole, and they had the police had the audacity to tell her parents that if she had been wearing a helmet, she would have been fine.
That's crazy. So the wreck I went on, the guy had just bought the motorcycle, and his parents were following him home with it, and he ran out in front of a coal truck on US 23, and it was an awful mess. But yeah, whenever I wrecked, I just laid it down in a curve and slid across the road in a driveway and gravel, and ended up in a ditch with it on top of me, and I got road rash on about 50% of my body, broke my wrist, a few ribs, had a big knot on my head where I smacked when I first laid it over. But yeah, a couple months I was better, cast, couple surgeries.
I have to tell you about my worst wreck. And mind you, I've been riding. I'm 63. I've been riding since I was 15 on my own bike. When I was the way I was taught to ride, my dad pulled the ripcord on a dirt bike on a mini bike that runs on a motorcycle. Excuse me, a lawnmower engine. We have to pull the ripcord, right? But it's a literal lawnmower engine. I was 8 years old. I go to visit my dad. He's living in a mud shack in the desert in Utah. There's no electrical outlets. There's no electricity. There's no plumbing in this house. It's like the Old West.
Mm-hmm.
My dad points to a house on the horizon and tells me that that's where my uncle lives, and that I need to go deliver a message to him. My dad pulled the ripcord to start the mini bike and told me, go. Those are my instructions. Well, I'm pretty sure he told me what the throttle is and does, and that's it. So I go. 8 years old. I remember being chased by a German Shepherd and being both terrified and amused that the mini bike goes as fast as a German Shepherd. Sadly, not faster than,
Yeah, yeah.
but fortunately, not slower than.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I'm hauling ass through the desert with this horrible dog behind me. But the worst wreck that I ever had. I'm coming out of a parking, a grocery store parking lot. So I mean, I'm not going fast, but I just pull out of the parking lot and I'm heading down to the four-way intersection, and as I'm going through the crosswalk, this woman is getting ready to turn left. She looks me right in the eye and then turns left in front of me. Why are motorcycles invisible? Why is it when
Yeah.
when you're going down the road, you see somebody getting ready to pull out of a driveway, they look at you coming and then pull out anyway, and then you have to swerve around them or whatever because you can't hit the brakes. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the four-way intersection when suddenly there's a sideways car in front of me.
Yeah.
You hit the brakes fast enough, both front and back. The moment when you lock up the front wheel, that's it. It's down,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't fall over gently. I mean, it throws down violently.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this woman turned in front of me. I have to hit the brakes and everything. Somehow the motorcycle missed her, but I didn't. So I chipped a tooth on her front bumper.
Oh.
Oof.
But I realized immediately the moment for amusement because I saw what she looked like, and I know what I look like. I wasn't wearing a biker jacket. I was wearing a leather trench. I stood up as quickly as I can, and I stomped over to her side of the window, and I could see this tiny little black woman wearing scrubs, purple scrubs with cartoon characters on it, like she's just come from a dentist's office. And already before I say anything, she goes, "I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry." And I lean into her window and I say, "That hurt."
Oh boy.
The thing
Well,
is, while I know that I'm scaring this woman, I'm giggling on the inside.
Yeah.
How she feels. But then I realized there was a cop right behind me. He saw the whole thing. And all I got to do is tell him what really happened. But she was so apologetic that I told him I'm just going to say that she didn't see me and I didn't see her. And I
Yeah.
conveyed it in such a way that the cop knew that I'm just not going to press charges on this woman.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if anything, will teach you to pay attention to other drivers. Ride a motorcycle around for a little bit because
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, you get the shit scared out of you on the regular.
My handlebars look like this on the ride home.
Well, see, when I wrecked, I was standing on the side of the road and I was wearing just a t-shirt and shorts, and my clothes were all torn up. I was covered in blood. Looked, my wrist was bent all sideways and stuff. And people just drove by and looked at me. And eventually, I got the bike up out of the ditch and rode it on to the hospital, uh, with my fingertips working like this, working the throttle because my wrist was broken. But yeah, it was a mess. But
Yeah, my son wants a bike.
yeah, I mean, it.
There's something to be said about them.
I told him I will let him get one and I will not complain about it, but he is paying for it. He is paying for the insurance and he's getting a life insurance policy.
How old is he?
19.
Oh, okay. I've been riding since I was 15, like regularly. My stepdad bought 3 motorcycles with the intent of killing me. He bought 3 motorcycles that were owned by a kid who had just died on his motorcycle. And he was convinced that I would die on those bikes. We lived in a place where I could ride the motorcycle out of my driveway, and at the end of our street was the desert. So I would just ride down the end of our street into the desert. And my stepdad tried to pretend he was cool by saying that I could raid his liquor cabinet and his gun cabinet. So that me and my 15-year-old friends would be loaded up with liquor bottles and guns, bandoleros, the whole thing, right off into the desert. Have fun, boys. And I know that my stepdad was disappointed that I kept coming back alive.
That's wild. We grew up with dirt bikes and stuff around here. It was the only thing to do. So that was kind of my experience.
I had a Trail 70 that you could fold the handlebars down and put it in the trunk of your car, and I did do that. I had an XR75, which I could honestly curl that motorcycle, and I had a 250 Elsinore. That was the big one.
Yeah.
But I mean that's how I started riding. So it didn't matter how many somersaults I did on those motorcycles, and I did somersaults on those motorcycles out in the dunes.
Yeah.
So much more forgiving than a street bike.
Yes. Yeah.
The first time you lay a street bike down, that's hundreds of dollars in damage.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the damage to you is far worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. So I've got a couple more questions here for you, and we'll wrap things up.
I'm sorry, I completely distracted.
No. I love the conversation.
I love
man.
it. It's great.
That's
You guys are so
one-
polite.
the one thing I said about you coming into this with Lil was like, hey, you'll see Aron is just a fun guy to talk to. You'll just enjoy having a conversation with him.
I've watched you for years, so I'm just like, oh, holy crap. So I was, yeah. So it's really cool to be on here.
Vandalia said a little bit ago, imagine if Trump tried to make Kent Hovind the Secretary of Education rather than the wife of the
Don't give him
WWF
ideas.
WWE creator.
Don't give him ideas, please.
That's an interesting thought.
You had one more question for me, was it?
Yeah, I've got. Let's see here. I'll fix it. Hold on.
Because
This
I have
was
a question for you and for your audience as well.
which of your thousands of pets is your favorite?
Damn. I I took my Australian jungle carpet python out to a brewery that we like to go to that are cool with me bringing snakes in the place, and he was fun. I take my false water cobra out to a number of breweries and beer gardens and stuff, and she's always great. And she's very sweet. Both of them are. But my reticulated python, 11-foot retic, I it's not just that I love him. I can tell that he loves me.
Yeah.
For the longest time, my favorite exotic pet that I ever had was my Salvador water monitor that was eventually shot by the police because he got out. And then eventually it was an emu, a bird 6 foot 6 inches tall, who can run 40 miles an hour. And I would walk him down to the park twice a week. And I absolutely loved him until the city told me that I had to put a leash on him. Like, how the fuck do you put a leash?
Yeah.
We have those here, emus. Like not wild, obviously, but a lot of people own them.
Yeah, I love them. I mean, the one that I had, dumb as fuck. I have snakes that are smarter than that bird was.
That they're goofy as hell. Yeah.
They are dumb. They're so dumb.
Yeah.
And I do have snakes that are smarter than that. But I want to say I've had a lot of exotic pets, but currently it is my reticulated python, and they have a reputation of being, well, they sometimes killed their owners, but it's kind of like with pit bulls. It all depends on how you raise them.
Yeah.
My retic has never shown any aggression to anybody. Neither has my false water cobra. Neither has my Australian jungle park. Yeah, but my retic is just. I absolutely love him, and I can tell that he loves me. And I love to tell this story, but I went to American Atheist National Convention in Minneapolis, and I took my Great Pyrenees, who is currently asleep at my feet, and I took my reticulated python, both of them together. And I had to stop because of the long drive. I had to stop in a motel on the way up there and on the way back, different motels. And I remember scanning the motel to make sure that there's nothing that the snake can get into, inside of, behind, or whatever, where might be a problem. No, this room is safe. So I just take the top off of his carrying tub, and just let him be, let him wander. And I lay down on the bed, and I'm checking my messages on my phone. And the snake comes up the end of the bed, crawls all the way along my body. Remember, he's a big snake. He's 11 feet long. He crawls all the way along my bed, all along my body, turns at my shoulder and lays his head on my heart and went to sleep.
Yeah, that's something.
I can't pick a favorite dog of mine. They're all like so different.
It's tough, isn't it?
Yeah.
I had, before Falcor, my luck dragon from a never ending story. I have a Great Pyrenees who's asleep at my feet right now. He's a rescue. My mother showed up at the house. She opens the front door, holding the front door open. She goes, "Hey, do you know you got this polar bear in your front yard?" And while she's standing with the door open, he just walks into the house like he lived there. And right away, he's playing with the two dogs that I had at the time. And I'm like, okay, well, I find the owner because he's chipped. He had to spend the night with us because it was just after 5 o'clock and all of the places were closed. So I had to keep him overnight. I'm not letting a giant dog like this out. I'm not sending a polar bear out into the wilderness overnight. I leave him in my house. We find the owner. I get the dog to the owner. And then I get a notice from nextdoor.com that this is not a happy ending. They took the dog from me to the pound.
What the hell?
So next thing I know, I'm at the pound. I'm now having to pay $35 for what was essentially my dog the night before, and they tell me that they want to keep him in quarantine. Why? So that he doesn't infect your other dogs. I'm like, where do you think he slept last night?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's with me, and for the last decade now, he's been my dog. Prior to that, I had a wolf hybrid named Snert, named after Hagar the Horrible's dog. Yes, I also had a duck named Kavak, but I have Snert, and Snert. When my 2-year-old son would like jump off the couch onto Snert, onto her ribs, whatever the dog, there was no way that dog was going to hurt that baby.
Yeah.
Now, when she would play with me, she would play so violently, I would be bleeding.
Oh.
But we're both having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
The way she would play with anybody else was like she turned into a Nerf dog. So she's like going through the motion without using any of the speed or the strength. She's just like, pretending to play. I'm like, I understand that she knows the morality. She knows I can take it and nobody else can. And those are my two favorite dogs I've ever had in my life. The one at my feet right now and Snert.
Awesome. Yeah, we see a lot of your pet pics and stuff on Facebook and things, going out with your snakes and stuff like that, and yeah, a lot of cool pics. So what's your question?
My question to you and to your audience, seeing that we have a situation where truth doesn't matter seemingly anymore, where appearances matter whether they're false or not, and the facts don't, right? What do we do to fix this?
I think we're winning at this point because you see regimes like this that are predicated basically just on hate. That's the only thing keeping the coalition together is their hate of other people. They tend not to last long. This one has already fractured. Once Trump is gone through one way or another, it's going to fracture like mad. There's like 5 different other factions of MAGA, all led by different people, all who don't agree with each other. And yeah, I mean, it's getting to the point that there's so many people constantly protesting and stuff that it's about to the historical tipping point of when things start changing. So
You would think when everybody knows that Pam Bondi and the Department of Justice
Yeah.
has deleted all of the incriminating evidence against Trump molesting children. Not just molesting them, but also brutalizing them, and on occasion, apparently, also murdering them. Because it's not enough to molest them. You also have to abuse them and then murder them. And when you know that that's what Trump did, that he did all 3 of those things, and you're going to defend him?
Yeah.
How evil
yeah,
are you?
yeah,
So I have a couple different approaches depending on whether I'm talking to an audience or engaging with an individual. But they've the right has very much made this about feelings and about what it that they want to boast and own the Dems and those things. And so often, and I don't know that this is the right answer to your question, but often I find that like ridiculing them publicly to the point of embarrassment is often the only way to at least shut them up for a moment. Doesn't last. They go and say the same thing somewhere else later. But I know that classically that would be like the worst way to engage in these things. But I think if facts no longer matter and you're going to make it about feelings, then I'm going to hurt yours. Uh, you know,
Yeah.
that's the only thing I know to do.
Do you realize when they started their attack on woke, that's what really impressed me. Rick Santorum had on his campaign page, he had an accurate definition of what woke means. And yet, he was saying that to be woke was the worst thing that someone can be. It's not just a bad thing. Having compassion for someone else is somehow a bad thing, but it's the worst thing you can be. To realize, now, I was very fortunate. I've always been comfortable in my skin. I was a good-looking young man. I got way too much privilege by being cute when I was young. Uh, but I had an awful lot of privilege, and I understood always that anybody that isn't as pretty as me, that isn't as white as me, that doesn't come from the background that I do, they're all going to have more. If you're, I'm a white male from a what people just automatically assume that I'm Protestant Christian or whatever. So I realize that a homosexual black woman, whatever, they're each one of these categories is going to face more adversity than I do. And I don't have to give them extra privilege. I just don't have to add to their problem, right?
Right.
I don't have to exacerbate what they were already experiencing. I can just acknowledge that they don't have it as easy as I did. But other people can't make that concession. And I don't understand how they can't.
Well,
But when you criticize, when you say that having compassion for somebody who has a problem that you don't, like look at how conservatives are. They don't give a fuck about gay rights until they realize that one of their kids is gay. They don't care about any issue until it begins to affect them directly. Until somebody in their family has that problem. I don't have to have anybody in my family have any of these problems to understand that other people have problems that I myself personally do not. I don't have to be handicapped to realize that other people have more adversity to face than I do, and that I shouldn't. I don't necessarily have to make things better for them, as long as I'm not making it worse. You know?
I think some of that comes with humility. Like, um, you have folks that either because of, lack of education or culturally where they live, or whatever, they never understand real humility, and so they don't have that ability to empathize with others, and it's that's why I think education is one of the biggest issues that we face right now. Like, um, basic basic education, and not just, again, not just the facts, but you know how to treat your fellow man. Uh, I think that's one of the most important things. I think education, if we really focus on educating young people, it gives us at least a chance to move out of these things. But
That, and I would also like that the education not be what one thing I did experience was that I was in Los Angeles in the 70s, in the hippie era, in the center of all new age spiritualism shit. And maybe I got an advantage out of that in that if I was raised in Alabama at that same time, I would have only known, extreme Christianity. But I mean, I was in LA, so I got to at least see comparative religious beliefs. You
yeah,
know, that was to my advantage. But when the education is like completely one-sided, they say that travel is broadening, right? There are two time zones in the world that I haven't been to. I agree. Travel is broadening. The people in my life, the people that raised me, refuse. My father He was forced to go to Los Angeles once to pick me up, and he hated it because Los Angeles was too progressive. No one in my and he had to work in Seattle once, which again was a similar problem. Seattle was too progressive, and we're talking about the 1970s. But my family in general would not go to Los Angeles or San Francisco or New York or Miami or Chicago because all of those places were too foreign.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've experienced a lot of that here. I didn't meet a black person until I was in like third grade, and and they were ran out of town within a few months. The and again, I think it relates to just education and things that you have.
Yeah.
Stupid people raising stupid people, and to put it bluntly, anyway. But that's why, like, whenever it comes like here in Kentucky, I think one of the worst things is Ken Ham, AIG, the Ark Encounter, all that shit, because now they're into homeschooling and stuff, and they live by the motto of get them when they're young. And I think that's really what I spend a lot of my time on because of that, because I think the danger to young people. My kid goes to school here, and he's 7 now, and obviously I haven't had a lot of conversation with him about religion and God and things like that. But he comes home and says things and looks things up that are related to other kids saying things about God at school and stuff. And so, I think it's really important that we know how to address those things with young people, and that we're educating them to know that, like, magic isn't a possible answer to things.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, like, I had to, because like my youngest son, actually both my kids went to public school here. I had to literally teach my youngest son biology because the school was not doing it properly. I grew up in a Christian school where our evolution section was literally a DI presentation.
Oh yeah.
And I'm sitting there at that age, and I'm like, this is horseshit. Like, this is absolute horseshit.
So you'll recognize this name, Aron. My high school biology book was called Of Pandas and People.
Oh no.
Oh God.
Yes, it was. And
See, design proponentists.
and it had a chapter on evolution, but it also had intelligent design. We skipped the evolution chapter, and they only taught the intelligent design chapter in high school. I mean that's so.
I had that book too.
I think that's changed now, but I mean, just the fact that I graduated in 2001, and just the fact that as recent as that they were still teaching intelligent design in classrooms, and it just passed under the radar for a lot of people. Like, in other places, I know that you personally went and spoke out about this exact thing, but in other places people just paid it no attention because it's such a red young earth creationist area. Like, everyone here is a young earth creationist. Everyone here is a fundamentalist Southern Baptist. Like, it's
everyone I knew until when I lived in the Four Corners area, when I lived in Arizona, New Mexico, Utah, Colorado, everybody I knew was a Mormon then, because if you were white but you weren't Mormon, then you weren't employed. So that's just how that worked. But when I went to Los Angeles, when we moved, my mother divorced my dad and moved to Los Angeles, being Mormon wasn't the norm anymore.
Yeah.
It's a whole different environment. And so now I get to see a comparison of all these different religious perspectives. It's like a third of my junior high school class were Asian.
Yeah.
So look at all of the different perspectives they're coming from already, So I'm glad I had that. If I'd been raised in Alabama in the same period of time, in the 1970s, I think my brain would have been shut down.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. It was a little bit because like the school that I grew up in, it was it was almost completely white. We had a few Asian kids, a few black kids, and a few Hispanic kids, and that was it. It was a bit of a culture shock my senior year when I went to public school, and I was just like, okay. I mean, I adjusted super fast, but it was just like I was like, where has this been like this entire time? And my dad actually told me, he's like, I'm sorry I sent you to private school several years ago. I'm like, well, you did, but I turned out okay.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Yeah.
thank you very much for
Yeah,
tolerating my tardiness. I'm sorry that for whatever
no
reason,
problem.
yeah,
No, you're fine, man.
No, we love having you on.
And I know that you talk about a lot of this stuff, so I'd love to have you back anytime. We do this twice a week, so
Okay.
I'll get in touch with you, and maybe we'll have some good news to talk about sometime.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Let's hope again. Let's use my health care plan.
Yeah, yeah, the best tool we got right now.
Hmm.
But yeah, no, I appreciate you coming, and even though you came in late, I appreciate you coming and talking to us, and you said a lot of.
Hmm.
Excuse me.
I said, remember when we lived in a free country?
Oh, I know.
Yeah, I know, right?
All right. Thank you so much, you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. You have a great one, man, and I'll be in touch with you.
Bye.
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 Let me see. I will remove him this way. And I'll do this. That way he doesn't even have to do it. There we go. All right. So, I mean, not the planned conversation, but a pretty good one nonetheless.
Yeah.
I didn't get to tell my joke about people who don't know better than to take their pants off before they shit, but it's okay.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, and I'm sorry that I didn't. There was a couple more Discord questions that I didn't cover. Sorry, guys. Things didn't go as planned. Obviously, I
Hmm.
tried to make sure that I covered everything, and
Shit happens.
there will be more opportunities. We will have more guests, and you know,
I'm working on
I'm glad
one.
that Aron showed up when he did, and
Hmm.
talked to us. We went over by quite a bit. We're almost into 3 hours here. Sorry for
Yeah.
keeping you out late, Lil. Uh,
I'm not the one you need to apologize to.
and who do I need to apologize to?
You know.
Oh, okay, I got you. Well, I'll give him an open invitation to come on sometime. So anyway, some of you in chat may know that I've mentioned I went and did an interview on the Lucy Hayes Network. Lucy is a really awesome person that I met, thanks to some of my mods over on Discord introduced me and stuff, and we had a really great conversation. Lucy's going to be here with us next Thursday, and she lives in Poland, but spends a lot of time over in Ukraine, in Kiev.
Hmm.
So a lot of stuff there to talk about, and a lot of important things that she can enlighten us a bit on and things. And I think that with everything going on in the world, maybe we don't spend enough time talking about Ukraine. So we're going to talk a bit about that next week. And
Hmm.
Lucy is neat. She has 3 channels, and I'm not linking all of them. Yeah. There's the one to the Lucy Hayes Network, and that will actually take you to the video that she did with me. Now, you can check out other stuff, and I encourage you to subscribe. Lucy is really awesome and has a really great take on things, and uh, lives a life that is challenging, to say the least. And I have a lot of respect for what she does. So definitely a person I'm excited to have on. I hope everybody enjoyed having Aron on. We bullshitted about some things, as I expected we would, but he said some really important things too, and some things to think about. And his question to you, the audience: how do we deal with these things? What do we do to change things? Leave me a comment or something after the video's over, and let me know your answer to the question. Over on Lil's channel too. Leave a comment there. I'll check them out.
Yeah.
What have you got to say, Lil?
Not a whole lot. He kind of covered everything. I mean, I did a interview with Misinterpretations on Tuesday night, which you should absolutely go check out. That was awesome. And I laid out a lot of my reasons for why I think there is a light at the end of this tunnel, and I'm seeing it, and it's not just because I am not an optimistic person by nature. I'm not necessarily pessimistic, but I tend to be more of a realist.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And Peter, by the way, I do want to say thanks to you guys that sent in super chats and stuff. Vandalia
Thank you, guys.
and Deviant Outcast, and thank you. Wait, there was another one. Who else sent a super chat? Big Bad Mama, and thank you to you guys that reached out to Aron to get a hold of him, or get a hold of Peter to get a hold of him. I really appreciate it. You know, I'm glad that he came, and you know, he was really apologetic about being late and stuff, but I was so happy.
He didn't need to be. I get it.
Yeah, no, shit happens. Like, it's not a big deal.
I had a scheduling error earlier this week, so I get it.
I'm often late for this show, and it's on my channel, right? Like,
yeah.
But
You can
yeah,
ask him. I'm always here early. I'm always here before he is.
Yeah, but you're literally on the show right before this one. Usually, anyway. But yeah. So last thing, if you're over at Lil's, come over here, like, subscribe. If you're here, go over there, like, subscribe. I'll drop Lil's link here in the chat again, but it's also, like, in the description and everywhere, so easy to find. But there it is there too. We'll be back Sunday. Today's Thursday. We'll be back Sunday with the Sunday show, and we'll have some clips and stuff. And I would like to get some of you guys in the audience to come on and like, do a panel thing and talk about a subject. Maybe that's what we need to do to get people to join, is pick an actual topic, and instead of just talking about recent news, pick a topic that's recent and talk about it. I don't know if the Epstein Files is the best one for that, but we'll talk about it and figure it out. I'll let you guys know when I put a poll up and stuff. And thank you, Seth, for your time. And later.